Karen thought she could humiliate the man in court until the judge did something that left the whole room in shock. The courtroom buzzed with quiet murmurs. Karen sat in her pressed blazer, arms crossed, smirking. Across from her stood a man in muddy overalls, Tom. His hands were calloused, his boots worn, and his hat tucked respectfully under his arm. Karen glanced at him and scoffed. Loudly, "Your Honor," she said, "this man has turned our neighborhood into a joke. Look at him! He parks his old tractor next to manicured lawns and grows corn instead of roses." Laughter rippled from the HOA board members behind her. Tom didn't flinch. He looked down at the letter he'd brought, folded carefully in his hand. The judge, an older woman with silver hair and reading glasses, narrowed her eyes. "That's quite a tone for a civil complaint, Miss Simmons." Karen rolled her eyes. "We've worked hard to make the neighborhood presentable. And then he builds a wooden fence with his bare hands and puts scarecrows up like we live on a farm. It's embarrassing." Tom finally spoke, voice soft but steady. "I'm not trying to upset anyone. I bought that land from my grandfather. Been in my family 90 years. All I did was fix the fence he built and plant the same seeds he used to. I didn't break a single rule in the HOA charter." Karen snorted. "It's 2025, not 1925. Overalls and cornfields don't belong in Oak Hills Estates." The judge suddenly stood. Everyone froze. She stepped down from the bench and walked straight over to Tom. "Mr. Green," she said, "may I see that letter?" He handed it over with both hands. She unfolded it gently and began reading aloud. "To whoever owns this land after me, keep it growing, keep it honest, and never be ashamed of dirt under your nails. That's the mark of a good man. M. Green, 1964. The courtroom fell silent. The judge turned to Karen. "You mocked a man who's honoring the roots of his family, who built something with pride and asked for nothing in return." Karen opened her mouth, but nothing came out. The judge turned back to Tom. "This court recognizes your right to maintain your land within the full limits of HOA policy, and I personally thank you for preserving something that matters more than curb. Appeal, legacy." Karen's face turned red. The smug smile she entered with had long disappeared. As court adjourned, people actually clapped, not for the judge, but for the man in overalls who stood tall and proud. On the way out, a little boy tugged his dad's sleeve and pointed at Tom. "I want to grow stuff like him one day. If this story touched you, hit like, subscribe, and share, because sometimes the man in overalls is the real hero we all need."